Welcome back to a new video. A little bit change of scenery. My desk is just too crowded with stuff, and I thought this would be a better change in pace. But yeah, so I finally got in my French deal. It was split into two packages. I got both of them in at the same time. If you're a part of the Discord group for soccer, you should have seen the pictures of the majority of what I got in. So really happy with that. There's some heavy hitters. And then I finally got my Chilean package in today. And that's what I was waiting for to make the video. I've not opened it up. I've cut away the tape from the package, and I thought I'd open and look at it for the first time on video. So that's what I'll do. That would be the last thing I show off. Got a couple cards from ML Collectibles from eBay. I got another one from another Swedish collector, and I got in a package of something that wasn't on my radar, and it was just too good not to get. So I'll talk about that. First thing I want to talk about was I found out something that I didn't know existed. I don't look at post 2000 issues that much, just because there's a lot that I'm looking for much older, much more rare. But one of the first things I bought when collecting, my first issue I've ever bought was a 1958 in action photo that shows Pele scoring on, Pele's in the card with Yashin while he's in goal. And I think Garincha is also in the photo. I'm not too sure, but it's graded as a Pele card. And it was like a Beckett 1.5, big stain on the back. And that was the first thing that got me into soccer collecting, was I saw that. And it was ending. Didn't seem like anybody was interested in it. I got it for under $100. And for what it was, it got me into collecting. And have understood now that I could very easily get that card again, a little more expensive in a higher grade, but that's still part of my collection. I'll probably never part with it because it's the first soccer issue that I've ever bought. Wasn't the first one I've ever looked at, but it was the first one I ever pulled the trigger. And then the next thing I ever picked up was a complete 2002 Panini album from Brazil showing Kaká's rookie. And I have come to find out that Dani Alves' first issue is also in the album, which I did not know when I bought it. And I honestly have not looked at the album since I picked it up, or pretty much a year ago when I picked it up. So when I did buy the album, I cut out the Kaká. I knew someday I could maybe remove the sticker. I don't think I will ever try to remove it, because stickers are made differently and they're attached to albums differently than they are today, than they were in the past. But like the idiot that I was, I cut it out of the album, which I display it, and this is how I display it. So it's not the worst thing. If I had to do over, I probably wouldn't have cut it out. But it's been on a shelf and displayed like this. And someday I will buy a graded version of this sticker. But I just wanted to show the album off. I never showed it off. Let's see if I can find the Dani Alves. In the album, his name's Daniel. That's his first name. But I just thought I would show it off since it was talked about in the Discord group. But yeah, there's his rookie sticker. So I thought that was cool. I thought that was interesting to pull that album out. It's the first time I pulled it out to look at it in over a year. I think I can't honestly I can't remember when I started collecting soccer, but I think it was the summer of 2023. I'm pretty sure. The next thing I wanted to show off were my ML collectible pickups. Nothing crazy. Advertises in 1953. Kurt Hamrin. And then this is a 1950s cutout from Fic Journalins of Coxus. I have a Marciano from this set. I know that there's also a Puskis. There's several other Hungarian players from the set. I'm sure there's some Swedish players from the set as well. But I thought that was fun. I'm actually downstairs. There's a, what is it, a 12 chime clock in the living room. So that's going off right now. But my other pickup from a different Swedish collector is actually a hockey card, which I don't show off hockey that much, but I try to collect as much as possible. I try to pick up as many issues as I'm able to do. Hockey is far more cheaper than soccer. But yeah, so this is a 1970 issue of Vladimir Treshak. I'm horrible. If you watch videos, I'm horrible at pronouncing names. Dealing with so many different athletes from all over the world in many different sports. I just can't remember how to pronounce certain athletes' names. Can't remember some of the athletes. I've never heard their name being spoken by somebody who actually knows how to say it. So, but this is supposed to be one of his toughest issues to track down. The back is not perfect. There's sticker residue, but I was happy to get it for what I got it. We'll probably try to upgrade to a graded copy someday, but I don't know. I really like this copy on the front. I'll show off the French package. I'll show off what was in that. So 2 cards, Copa from 1959 LaCroix issue, and then Fontaine. These are the backs. I got in 2 larger photographs. So 1939 photo of Racing Paris. So that features Diagne, like all the others. And I think Haydn. I'm not totally sure. I bought it for the Diagne just because the same seller offered it to me in the lot with all the and postcards I wanted. Another one, but this is the French team from 1939, and it features both Diagne and Ben and Barrett. So there's Raoul and Ben and Barrett. So that's a lot of fun. I was really surprised with that photograph. I really like it. And then some postcards, some more featuring Haydn and Ben and Barrett. I mean, not Ben and Barrett, Diagne. Another one from 37. And then my A&N postcards. So I got Spain, Italy, Czechoslovakia, Yugoslavia, Hungary, Turkey, and the heavy hitter, United States. I was happy to get all of them. He offered me 7 more from the set. Already had 2. So, and then the 5 others, I didn't want to pull the trigger. There were other things I wanted. I liked the price for these and the photographs, and so that's what I stuck with. So that's the French package. And then this next package is a set out of El Salvador, commemorating, I think, the 1928 Olympics, I think, because there's a similar set from Angola. But in my experience, I think this set is more rare considering the baseball set, considering what the baseball cards go for auction, how often they go. I just, from just a quick search, I feel like these are more rare. But I got these for about $200. Every issue I'm about to show you was $200, and the seller was nice enough to agree to up the price on eBay for me, so it would make it where if he sold it, because I think he upped it to like $1,200, and so nobody would buy it at that price, which I still think it's worth 10 times as much as I paid for it. And I'm just happy to get it at 200, because I didn't know the set existed until I saw the Romano on PWCC, graded, of course. And these are far from perfect, but an issue like this, you're not going to find perfect. I'm just happy to have them. So, Romano. He sleeved these, but of course there's others that should have been sleeved. He didn't know, which is fine. It came in perfect condition from the photos to me. They were packaged great, and I'm thankful that they showed up safe. So Zamora. Svensson. Charles Paddock. So there's not just soccer in here. Osborne. And Nurmi. Speaking of him, I actually picked up a 26 Greeling, plus a few other Greelings that are coming from Germany. So those will be in a future mail day. I think I picked up 3 runners and 2 soccer players. So you'll see those when those come in. I was trying to find a whole lot more soccer players, but I'm not able to find them. So I'm still trying to track those down. So here were the ones that weren't sleeved. We'll get all these sleeved up after the video. Got a bunch to go through. I think the lot was over 80 individual cards. I'll point out the soccer players once they show up. I think the most expensive issue from the set is about to show up. Yeah, it's in the stack. So here's Abrams. I was looking at a few of his cards earlier in the week. Here are some soccer players. So that actually has a hole through the card. So that's interesting. But here's the Andrade. Definitely not perfect, but that's okay. Again, the whole lot costs $200. And it's unfortunate that this one is littered with holes. I think these are due to moths or worms. But oh well. Happy to have these issues. Here's the second Andrade. Yeah, these are in tough shape, but that's all right. They will be sleeved up and placed in a box along with all the others. I'll try to go through the second pile and pull out the soccer players. Oh, here's the Andrade, the third issue. Nothing wrong with it. I knew that there was a good solid copy. So that will be displayed along with all the others. Worth. So I was getting worried. That it was cheap for a reason, but no, the copy, the reason I bought the lot was for that Andrade. That just showed off. Harder. I have a 26 Greeling in my Fanatics vault of that player. Another reason why I bought the lot. Riedel, Austrian captain. If you are interested at all in any of the extras I have showed off, of course, they will be the ones that are damaged. The better copies I'm going to keep in my personal collection. Yeah, these are much better shape than the first pile. Yep, there's a non-damage Alcantara. Yeah, these are in much better shape. Really happy with the condition on these. Oh, here's another Masazi. Not damaged. I think with a clean back too. Fantastic. A lot of these players are not a lot of these players don't have that many issues. And so Depra from Italy, the Czech player that I just showed off, Sedlak, Lakic. I'm horrible at pronouncing these names. Kata. That was a Paddock. Kolb. A bunch of these players have grilling issues, but I'm happy to get all these Harworth. I was looking at a postcard of his a while back. Didn't pull the trigger on it. I'm happy I didn't because it wasn't in the greatest shape. But I'm currently looking for that set of Austrian players. So hopefully we'll find that set here soon. Sven Riedel. So this, I'm pretty sure this is late 20s. I'm pretty sure it's 28 on the dot. That's what the baseball players are graded. That's what most people agree on. Here are some more soccer players. These are damaged, but I'm happy to have the important players undamaged with no holes and a clean back. Here's another Ramona. I think this is a complete set of the soccer players. I have no clue where to find a checklist for the set. Seeing how I have as many doubles as I do in the stack, which I actually didn't think I would. I think, yeah, these are both damaged. Really, really happy with that. If you're interested in any of the doubles, just make sure you realize the condition. Shoot me an offer on the Discord group or message me in the YouTube comment section. But yeah, maybe we can work something out. I'm always looking to trade my doubles for things they don't have or make a deal with somebody in good faith. Since I have learned so much and I have bought so much from the Discord group. But I think it's time. I think it's time to finally get into the package the reason I'm making the video. So this is the first time I've looked into it. It's the first time I'll be looking in exactly what I got. Of course, I got pictures, but I've been looking for this album for so long, and I'm so happy to finally have a complete issue. And the same seller who I bought the Chilean album from is currently looking with his contacts in Mexico to see if he can't try to help me find 2 more albums that I've been looking for. after making this deal, I have made a few other deals for 2 Peruvian albums, one from 1950, another one from 1954, that I will finish up and have those coming in. A complete 1950 Americana Ballast album is part of that deal too, plus the earliest issue of Revelino and a 1952 Figuritas Lolly also, but that's of a Hall of Famer basketball player. And then I'm excited of that deal and several more. And I'm just really blessed with the Discord group, with the friends that I've made, the contacts that I have found, and the deals that I've done. And I'm really appreciative to everybody in the Discord group. And I want to help as much as possible. So, just reach out to me if you have any questions, if you want me to try to help you find something, or if you're interested in anything you see. So yeah. So there's the first look of the front of the album. And it looks exactly like it does when the seller sent me the pictures. I don't want to damage the album front because I plan on displaying after I unstick all the stickers from the album. So no sticker from this album is for sale. Not the Pele, not any of the commons. I'm just excited to have this complete because how long it took me to find it, and this is one of the crown jewels of my collection for sure right now. He packaged it really well, but yeah, this is in great shape. Okay, so there we go. There's the album. Now let's check the main reason why I wanted the album so badly. It's because of one sticker. The reason I wanted it so badly was because of one sticker, but I've came to learn about everything else. And right on the front page is the Chilean national team. And there we go. There's the third page. But the main reason I wanted this album was because of that sticker. Elias Figueroa. And it's in great shape for what it is. I'll need it unstuck, but it'll remain like this until I send it to have it unstuck. Oh, there was a second Chilean player that I wanted. I'm trying to find him. Landa is a good one. Francisco Valdez, that's the other player. I love these stickers. It's just a wonderful album. There's not just the Chilean team in this album, so we'll get to the other ones. Lionel Sanchez. So that's pretty cool. I actually have it. I found out his earliest issue is in a 59 Chilean album. It's not the prettiest album in the world, nowhere compared to this album. And I've only ever seen one issue. It's incomplete, but the deal's done. Well, the deal, I haven't completed the deal, but I will in about a week. So that'll head its way. To me, it's the earliest issue of a bunch of these players. Here's the Brazil team. Manga, Santos, Bellini, Ronaldo, Orlando, Garrincha, right there. And there's the Pele. Probably the most expensive card in the set. But I don't know. If somebody sends me a crazy price for it, then sure, I'll let it go. I'll have it unstuck and I'll let it go for a crazy price. But I'm happy to have it. Mine doesn't have a hole in it. I think Al's copy. No, I can't remember. Oh man, he showed off a couple of graded issues from this set, and I can't remember. Because there was an album in the Discord group, and it was pieced out to several collectors. I know Seb has a few. Al had for Elias, the Figueroa, and that was the reason when I saw that graded, when I was looking for his earliest issue, I knew I wanted that card, and then I read about the album, and ever since then I had looked for the album. It was on my top 10 list. So yeah, so there's the Brazil team, there's the English team, the start of the English team. So you had Charlton, Jimmy Greaves, or Jimmy Graves. Who else? Charlton. Wait, didn't I just? John Charlton and Bobby Charlton. That's right. And you got Spain. Italy. So there's Suarez for Spain, the start of Italy. The start of Italy's right there. But there's Rivera, Missoula. Oh man. It's the first time I'm seeing a bunch of these players. Because outside of the Chilean team and the North Korean team, I didn't really look in depth. But Portugal, so you have Eusebio. So that's really cool. Not the prettiest picture, for sure. Not the prettiest sticker either. It's got some damage to it. That's okay. But you have Albania, which I think is Germany. No, maybe. I don't know, because Sealer's right here. And then Russia. Yashin. Probably one of my favorite players to collect after World War II. Before World War II, who would be my favorite before World War II? Oh man, I don't know. I gotta think on that. But man, here's the rest of the Russian players. Hungary's players. Bennett, Albert, Tichy. Again, I apologize. I suck at pronouncing names, but the players in this album are ridiculous. Too bad that most of these players have earlier issues. Most I actually have. Some of them I'm not aware of. I could be missing their earliest issue. I'm not looking for some of them right now. They're on my checklist. But like Albert's earliest is from a Italian magazine from 1960. Tichy, or however you pronounce his name. His first name's Lajois, however you pronounce it. Laos? I don't know. But his earliest issue is probably a gum wrapper out of Israel from 1958. This player, his earliest issue is from a Mexican album from 1962. Of course, they're most likely their earliest issue are postcards featuring the team. So I do have 1950 postcards of these players with them on their team, but we're just talking about individual appearance outside of magazines and books and stuff and team postcards. Those are their earliest issues that I know of. So here's French players. So 66 France. Argentina. Uruguay. Switzerland. I think that's Switzerland. Bulgaria. Mexico, which is really cool because there should be a Carvajal. Yeah. Which Carvajal is the main reason I want the 1950 Americana Ballas. Well, I wanted his individual issue because that's his earliest issue from what I have been able to find. That's the consensus from the group. And that's what I had on my list was just the single issues. That's why I started out looking. And then because of that, I found somebody that he actually reached out to me first. Great guy. He reached out because he noticed that I liked the Peruvian albums, and he noticed that I had an incomplete 1950s Peru album, and then I wanted a complete one. And he reached out and he was like, "Hey, I can help you with the 54." And he was like, "Hey, are you interested in the 1950 crack as well?" And I was like, "Absolutely." And yeah, so he reached out and we made a deal for both of those albums. And then he let me know what else he had available, and I stacked on what I already mentioned. And so yeah, so that will be, that'll probably be my favorite mail day that I have this year. But that'll be a while until that shows up, because I have to finish the deal for it. I got to stop looking for certain things, pushing back certain deals, and that'll definitely make it where I'll relax on that front. But here's the second reason I wanted the album. I wanted the 1966 North Korean team from the set, and I wanted the Figueroa from the set. So that was the first. That was what I learned about the album, was the Figueroa. Then I learned about this, and I just knew I needed them. So, as you can see, there are empty spots throughout the album. That's just how it was made. This is complete. Each team needs 11 players, and that's what they have, 11 players. This is a complete album for this set. I'm happy to finally have it. Uruguay is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep. So I'm going to continue to look this off the camera. Yeah, so that's it. That's all I got. I think the last thing I wanted to do was talk about what all I have coming in. I have 3 albums coming in. 2 1950 albums and then 1 1964 album. The 1964 is actually an Olympic album that I've been trying to track down the individual stickers for. So I'm happy to get those 3 coming in. The guy I bought them from was great. I hope to do more deals with him because it was quick and to the point. Of course, it'll be several weeks before those come in. I have 5 1926 Freeling issues, the black and white, coming in. I already got the Chilean in. I got the French packages in. I have a few issues from Del Campi coming in. I have some gum wrappers from Israel coming in. An extra 1922 Felix Poten of Paul Nicholas. A deal from Australia for just, like a $10 card. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got in. I got a few deals I need to finish, and some things I need to track down. So yep, that's all I got. I appreciate you staying as long as you did. 43 minutes is almost 44 minutes. That's a lot of me talking your ear off. So I appreciate it. Bye.